Bert always talks about. It's Friday, and the body knows it.
But you have to do the shaking.
I'll be honest with you, I'm like super exhausted. We technically, to an extent, we kind of waited, just given the fact that we've had so many things going on with obviously the business and the changes. But last night, I was literally in my house with my wife by ourselves while my son fell asleep like at 11 something, doing like hypothesis, you know, sé qué, with the little board. And we left out of here, Chelsea. Well, a few of us actually left super late yesterday, like around 8 or whatnot, with rain, whatever. And so I'm super exhausted. And we obviously just got news that Cindy's obviously going to go ahead and give birth this morning. Or we didn't get news, we actually knew because it was a pre-planned C-section or whatnot, right? So there's a lot of things going on, and I wanted to go ahead and do a little bit something a little bit different. Obviously, the last 2-3 meetings that we've been having, it's been pretty much inspirational audios. I kind of forgot my little speaker thing. So regardless of the fact, as a matter of fact, I was thinking of what is it exactly that I wanted to go ahead and talk about today. And the only thing that really keeps coming to mind, just given the fact as to where we're at, not only with regards to our goals, how we're attending to people, but it goes back to the basics, right? Which is customer service. And customer service literally is at the heart of any institution, any business. You know, for me, it's something that I'm working towards, or to get to a certain level. I would say that of something similar to like a big corporation, like a Bank of America or a Chase, or like Capital One. You know, sometimes you go ahead and have little situations, you have issues, you go ahead and contact them, regardless of what's going on. The way they address you, it's professional, it's consistent, and it's an order of things that they do in order for them to go ahead and resolve your issue. And that to me is really, really important, guys. It goes back hand in hand, not only on the aspect of when we're obviously in sales, on how we address the client, how we speak to them, but also once the client takes the next steps. And today I wanted to talk about one specific topic, which I think it goes hand in hand with customer service, which is the why. Why is it that we are like this? Why is it that we react like that? Why is it that the client's taking the next step? Why is it that the client's gonna go ahead and stay in the program, right? So again, I think it ties up to the basic, which is obviously customer service. Once the client's obviously boarded into the program, if somebody believes in the service, in what we're saying, guess what? They're going to transition over to processing. And obviously, we've been having a few little hiccup situations that are happening, but I think this goes back to the basics, basically. And we have to understand, why is it that the client's doing what they're doing? Why are they taking the next steps with us? And so on and so forth, which I'm obviously going to go ahead and talk on some key points. So once it comes into processing is that side that you guys are nurturing the client. You guys are the ones that now it's not even about the salesperson anymore. Guess what? Because now it's obviously transitioned over to our processing side, and my processing ladies, you guys obviously are taking the ball, and now you're obviously going to have to run with it. So regardless of what the situation is, the way we address the client is highly important. Because I'll be honest with you, and I've spoken this and I've said this in the past, and you know what, it happens to me too. And I'm obviously, the way that I like to go ahead and express or talk about the business or talk about scenarios is how I feel when I go into a store. When I walk into, you can notice the difference when you're walking into a McDonald's and you're walking into a Chick-fil-A, right? The attentiveness is there, how fast they take your order, what they say, how they say it, sir, please, ma'am, how polite they are. As soon as you walk in, sometimes you go into stores, and as soon as you walk in, thank you for coming in. Or you walk into like a Party City or something like that, right? Compared to other stores, maybe dollar stores that more or less are the same type of service or product, but they don't probably say that. And that makes a world of a difference. So it's up to us on how we're picking up the phone and what we're saying to the client. That's gonna make a world of a difference. Because to be honest with you, and again, I've said this, it gets to the point that, guess what? A client could come into the program, but if I execute what I told them from the beginning as to what's gonna happen, and I'm consistent with everything that I've told them, in a sense, Mr. Client, I went ahead and I quoted you this, I gave you this, I'm gonna go ahead and send you over a service agreement. I'm gonna need some certain documentations from you. I'm gonna go ahead and put this file together. I'm gonna make sure I do it as soon as possible, since there is that sense of urgency. You're looking to go ahead and buy a home. You're looking to go ahead and refinance, buy that vehicle. And because of that, the faster you give me the documentation, the faster we're going to go ahead and get started. All of a sudden, a day goes by. You don't speak to the client. You don't call the client, right?
I'm sorry.
Then all of a sudden, 2 days go by, and you don't follow up with the client. 3 days go by, you don't follow up with the client. Then the weekend comes through, there's 2 more days. And all of a sudden, 5 days go by, and all of a sudden, your client's kind of like MIA now. Because either that connection's not there. So why, I wanted to talk about that. So I was obviously listening to an audio. I've actually heard it in the past. It's actually by Simon Sinek. Very, very interesting. Especially for, exactly, the why. So Simon Sinek basically talks about the why and the brain and how the brain's structured and the central cortex and the outer layers as to people, you know, how we buy, how impulsive sometimes we are. Some of us that are actually analytical, but in reality, it comes down to the core as to why is it that I really need something. So if I know without a shadow of a doubt who I'm talking to, I trust, I believe, I'm gonna buy. Right? So in reality, it's not about the analytical aspect of it. It goes back to the same thing as to why am I doing it. So one thing that he obviously talks about, believe. The goal is to do business with people who believe. As a matter of fact, I was telling Berto right now, I was going to share this thing. As Alex spoke to a client, I believe it was yesterday. The day before yesterday. And obviously he did the evaluation. He explained the program. The lady, I guess, was so excited. She ended up enrolling. At a more higher cost than what we have the promotion on right now. Her monthly was actually one of the highest that we have because she had an extensive amount of negative items, and she ended up just, you know, signing up with us. Fantastic. Then all of a sudden, I believe the next day, she wanted to go ahead and cancel, right? Berto went ahead and spoke to the lady, and at the end, I guess she already made her decision. It could have been something that either she spoke to a friend, either she probably went online, either she saw one of our reviews, either somebody said, you know what, bro, credit repair doesn't work. Who knows? But if the belief that she had within the conversation that she might have had either with Berto or with Alex, and if she knew to the core, guess what? And I've always said that there's 3 reasons why somebody's not going to go ahead and sign up with us. And the number one is what? They just don't trust us. They don't believe in what we're saying. We ourselves have to believe in the service, because that's going to add on to additional things on the way we speak to them, the confidence we have with them, what exactly we're saying to them. We're the doctors in credit. So I go ahead and obviously the lady still wanted to go ahead and cancel. And like I've said before, I don't want anybody canceling without speaking to me, because I want to make sure that at least I'm the last resource. I want to be the last person to not only express on how I feel and I know what the product or the service is going to do for them, but at the end, I want to make sure that we just did not let somebody go because at the end, guys, I'll be honest with you. I know what our competitors do. We know what our competitors do, but we're different because of what we do and how we do, the hard work that we put in, right? And I was talking to the lady, and all of a sudden, she's like, oh, well, my voice is actually a little raspy or whatever. I don't really got time to talk. I've already spoken to 2 people, and I've already made up my mind. I literally didn't even continue the conversation. I knew that she didn't believe. There's nothing that I could tell her. I can't tell her I'm going to do it for free. Is that what's going to turn her and say, you know what? Oh, fine. If it's for free, let's go ahead and do it. Because not everything is free is good, right? Let me go ahead and give you a discount on the monthly. Or you know what, maybe Alex or maybe Berto didn't explain something properly. Let me go ahead and reiterate to you. Once the client has made their decision, and they're like confident that they're not going to go ahead and take the next steps, they're not. So this is where we believe, we know, we see. I see files. I'm talking to client consistently. I have a spreadsheet, right? The problem resolution spreadsheet. I have all the tools. I'm the one that has the research. I have the books. I went through the program, and I know what it took in order for me to get to the level that I'm at now. And I have that commitment to, if I know that if you listen to me, you follow my next steps, you stick to the program, and if I follow up with you, I'm consistent, I'm calling you, I'm there, I'm updating your portal. When you call, I'm answering, and all that process stays focused, the client's gonna stick because you're committed. The client's gonna know, guess what? These people care. And it's all about caring. This is another thing too. And obviously, people don't buy why what you do. People buy why you do it. So, and again, it goes back to the same thing. So sometimes we obviously want to go ahead and get really analytical. We want to talk about, we do different things. Our success rate's pretty high. As a matter of fact, we don't only dispute with the bureaus, we also go to the creditors, and we start throwing all these things that makes us different. But without really knowing the core reason as to why that client needs that service. Are we really asking the right questions? What's your goal? And when we start understanding what the client needs, then we could literally create a service around that need. Start giving the client examples as to what they're going to be able to go ahead and expect, what they're going to go ahead and do, and that's going to mean the world of a difference. It says, and I also wrote something here, every competitor is equally suited to do credit repair. None of the information that we have, our competitors can't get. Everyone has access, but it's the why. So nothing that we do is something that Justo made up, or something that I dug up from some sort of book that is inaccessible. As a matter of fact, 3 years ago, I had no idea what a dispute letter looked like. I promise to you. Even though I was in the industry already, but I wasn't in processing. I'm a salesperson by nature, by heart. I love talking to people. I love understanding people. And that's what I did. All the other stuff is just add-ons. Anybody could do if you give somebody some information, but it's the passion that we have when we come in, the conviction that we have when we come in. Because guess what? I have not gotten back to that client with that email, and that client is right there. Email. You have a client, and you know what? He called you, and he told him that you were going to go ahead and get back to him, but it's already 5. I'm punching in and out. But if the why is, you know what? I want to make sure that I satisfy this client. I know that I want to go ahead and grow with this company. I want to go ahead and do this for this person. It's not really going to matter about the time. You're going to give that little extra mile to make sure that you satisfy that individual. And that to me is really important, guys. I actually wrote something else here. You can't just hire someone to hire them. It has to be because they believe in what you believe. I was actually, as a matter of fact, and I'm not sure, obviously, I didn't really have so much of an opportunity the first 2 times that even, I'm going to use Julissa as an example. But one of the new things that I like to go ahead and ask, especially when I hire now people, and I obviously had the extensive conversation almost for like 40 minutes with Sean and Norman, and I like to ask, could you tell me about a time or maybe a past employment that you've had or a past job that you could really just tell me of a situation where you've gone above and beyond? And I like to hear that. Or what is it exactly? And that's part of now, I actually went through a bunch of resumes, and that's one of the things that I was actually looking for. Asking people why. Because at the end, you want people who are passionate. You want people who are going to go above and beyond, because it's going to just add on to whatever passion or dream that the vision of the company has, which is super, super important. And it goes back to the same thing. That's the why, right? So it goes back to the same thing, right? We obviously we see companies like Apple. We see companies like there's so many other corporations, right? And I love the fact of what actually separates them from every competitor. And part of the audio actually spoke about that, and it goes back to the bottom line, which is the customer service and how they value the client. It's kind of funny, and I don't want to really throw it out there that much, but I obviously ended up being a credit repair client. Creditrepair.com. I didn't really sign on. I was very curious to find some sort of stuff, and I was doing some reconnaissance as to how they operated. And technically, I slipped into their service.
Well, they slipped you somehow.
They slipped me somewhere in there. So no enrollment, no service agreement. I never spoke to anybody about no welcome call. They kept charging me for 6 consecutive months. I never received any correspondence. And then I go ahead and I find out through my credit card that obviously is being charged, and they're like, oh no, there's actually, it was like $1 something to enroll, and then if you didn't cancel, then you obviously fall into our product or our service. So they've been really disputing on my behalf for the last 6 months. I haven't gotten one phone call, one email. And I go ahead and call, and they're like, well, as a matter of fact, so far we haven't really had any results.
Have you
So-
received any letters?
So when do we get to the point that you're gonna call me and be like, hey, by the way,
After $600?
something's going on, bro.
Send me your
We
documents.
haven't figured it out yet.
I need to do your synthetic ID.
And you know, not to throw them out there like that, but kind of, yeah. But there are competitors. But bottom line is, guys, I want to be different. I want to have a different business. I want the right team. You know, at the end, I used to think that having 50, 60 people that was gonna make the dream team, and in reality, it's not. It's kind of like a basketball game, right? You have Michael, you have Jordan, you have Pippen, right? Rodman, and that's the dream team. There's more basketball players, there's more people, but there's gonna be certain people that are just gonna basically lead the way. And just to come in here and just to go ahead and push some paper, push some stuff, that's not what's gonna help our business to grow, guys. That's not what's gonna go ahead and keep our clients. The retention aspect of it, that's super highly important. It doesn't make any financial sense for anybody to join a program and then, you know what? I had to change their heart after 45 days. I'm gonna go ahead and jump ship to someone else. What is it that we're doing different than other companies are? It's the attention to detail. It's the passion. It's the goal setting. It's to make sure that nobody stays behind. If they stick with us, they're gonna make it. They're gonna get to that goal. And that's the objective, guys.